What's up, everybody? We are 3 Doors Down, and we are about to answer these questions that you sent in to the 6th Sense. We'd like to thank Nikki Six and Jen for having us on this show, and for you sending in the question to this Ask Anything chat. Our first question is Sherry from Mount Gilead. Sorry. Is there a certain artist or band that you are pushing to tour with this summer?
I think, I don't know if we're really pushing, but I think we're going to maybe try to do some shows with Pop Evil, our friends from Pop Evil. I don't know how that's going, but, we'll see what happens.
A man can dream.
Rachel from Perrysburg. Are you coming to Ohio again? Northwest. Please, and what's your favorite song off the new album? You know I love you, boys. We love you too.
We love you too. And, I'm sure we'll be in Ohio again. Ohio is honestly one of our favorite places to play. Anywhere we come in Ohio, you guys always bring it. And it's always a good time coming and playing with you guys. My favorite song is probably Pieces of Me. I like The Broken a lot, but Pieces of Me holds a pretty personal place for me. I can really relate to that song.
My favorite song is The Broken. Oh, Gracie from Eau Claire. What are you most proud of accomplishing in the band?
I think that I'm most proud of the Better Life Foundation, and this is the 13th year that we've had, or going into our 13th year rather, that we've had the foundation, and it's just a blessing to see what the foundation has done and to be a part of that organization. We've watched some great things be accomplished through it, and if anybody would like to donate to the Better Life Foundation, it's a $1 in, $1 out charity. Everybody volunteers their time. There's none of the crazy stuff that sometimes happens with charities. You can go to the betterlifefoundation.org, or you can go to 3doorsdown.com, and there's a link on there for the Better Life Foundation as well. Benefit a lot of children's charities, homeless shelters, food pantries, a lot of different things like that, and it's a great foundation. So if you want to contribute, the betterlifefoundation.org is where you can do that. Lund from Brooklyn. When you did Kryptonite, were you thinking about Superman? Honestly, no. The song is really more about unconditional friendship. It's asking the question, if I'm doing great, will you be there for me? And if I'm down, will you be there for me? Which is kind of sounds like a crazy question, but really, if you think about it, it's kind of easier sometimes to be there for somebody when they're down than when they're actually doing good. And that song is just kind of asking that question, and with the whole Superman thing, it just kind of seemed like a way to relate and convey that message more than anything. But so it's ultimately not about Superman, but that's a good question.
Rob from Huntington, where the hell you been?
On a bus. Yeah, it seems like we were kind of gone. It's been 5 years since the last record, and we're glad to be back and have another record out to go on tour some more with. But we put out Time of My Life, and we toured for it for a year and a half, and then we put out the greatest hits, and then we toured on it for a while, and then we done a full year of an acoustic run, and now spent the last year, a year and a half or so, writing and recording and getting everything going on this record, and it's just now come out, so we'll see you out there very, very soon. We didn't go anywhere though, I promise.
Let's see, is this one full correct? Uh-oh.
There we go.
Here we go.
Jeffrey from Little Falls. Do you think Chet and Justin brought more of an edge to the band? I've heard you guys in concert last year, and the new songs just look like they are more fun for you guys to play and are great to listen to. I can't wait for you to come around this year. I'm probably one of your biggest fans. Thank you, brother. Since I heard the first 7 notes of Kryptonite, don't stop making music. Well, thank you, Jeff. I appreciate it, man. These new songs are a lot of fun to play, and Justin and Chet definitely had a lot to do with those songs. They brought some new flavors to the band and some new ideas, and definitely some new life into the band. And these new songs, that's one thing that we kind of aimed for on this record, was to have some songs that were fun to play live, and hopefully fun to listen to for you guys. And so thank you, man. I appreciate that.
Brian from Waterbury, what do you think is the single biggest change in the band from the beginning until now? The single biggest change in the band.
I guess just the way. I guess the biggest change might be
Personnel change would have to be the biggest change, I think.
yeah, personnel change, and just the way that music reaches fans. You know, it used to be all about radio and album sales, and now, you know, through social media and the internet, like we're on right now, you know, just the access to fans and your access to us. There's a lot of walls that have come down, and we really like that a lot, you know, and we like when you guys come and film the shows or take pictures at the shows and put them online and stuff. You know, it's just a whole different animal than it used to be, and this one seems to be a lot more fun and interactive. So it's really cool. But I think that's a big change, and as well as having those new guys in the band.
Terry from Cooper, what are your music influences? I think mine are started with kind of the 80s metal guys. You know, Def Leppard was one of my huge influences to begin with, and then I moved into the more kind of like heavy kind of metal guys, and then from there into pop for some reason. Just you know, listening to country, having children, and listening to the radio, and you know, being in a band that's in the music business. My music taste started kind of changing, and so it changed into different things. But I started metal for sure.
Mine was a little bit of everything. You know, I grew up in the 80s, and I'm the youngest of 7 kids, so I just kind of, I listened to whatever my brothers and sisters were listening to. So it was everything kind of from the 80s on up, whether it be 80s metal, 80s rock, and country, and just a little bit of everything. And grew up in the South, and grew up in church, so even some of that, you know, that kind of music influence. And it's hard to put a finger on just one thing, but I guess just a little bit of everything in general.
Angie from Charlottesville, what's the craziest thing you've bought since becoming successful?
Craziest thing I bought? I'm pretty cheap. Most of the stuff that I buy, stuff that I need.
Yeah.
But never really anything outlandish. I mean, I never thought I'd own a Freightliner, but I mean, I need that. My wife races horses, and we have a big horse trailer and stuff, so never thought I'd own a semi, but I kind of need it.
The craziest thing I ever bought was a houseboat, which I now have gotten rid of.
But we had fun with it.
Yeah, it was fun while I had it. Kim from Allentown, have you wrote or played music other than your own bands?
This is the only band I've ever been in. I've been in this band since I was 16 years old, and so now this is the only band I've ever wrote music for, except for just doing some writing in Nashville and around with some different guys like that.
Yeah, same with me. I mean, I've only written really for this band. I did write a couple songs for a guy who had a record, but I don't remember it. Yeah, so whatever.
Bree from St. Louis, what inspired In the Dark? I think the music inspired In the Dark, just kind of the feel of the music that Chet kind of came up with, the basic structure and that kind of hooky guitar part he came up with, actually as almost like a little dance funk groove that he came up with on GarageBand on his iPad, and it just kind of had that playful kind of dancey feel to it. And you know, we knew we needed to rock it up and make it a rock song, but the In the Dark line was actually, she likes to do it in the dark, was the first line that kind of come to mind when we were writing that song. And then we just kind of wrote the lyrics around that hook, and it just kind of went from there.
Carol from Memphis. Brad, how often do you get behind the drums these days? Too often.
Not too much. I play at home a little bit. I play on stage every now and then. If I can talk these guys into it, maybe we'll bring the double drum kit back out and do that some more this tour. That was a lot of fun to do. And but Well, let Greg handle the drum department. He's way better drummer than me. But at home I play a little bit, but if I do, it's normally on the electronic drums, as to not drive my wife batshit crazy.
There you go. Garrett from Gulf Breeze. A beautiful song written by you guys dubbed the Battle Song was never released but given to one lucky fan. Since then, only parts of it has been heard. It was planned to be put on the self-titled album. Will we ever get to hear the full version of this track? It sounds amazing.
You know, I don't know. I really like that song, and I kind of forgot about it, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, maybe we'll have to go back and revisit that song one day. It's a cool song, and it's got a good message to that song. And I know there's a little kind of excerpt from it on the Away from the Sun DVD, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Something like that, of the making of that record. But yeah, maybe we'll have to go back and revisit that. Thank you for reminding us, Garrett.
Brenda from Des Moines. How do you keep in such great shape? You have the best body of any singer I've seen.
Well, Brenda, that has kind of fell apart a little bit lately. I haven't been working out too much, but it's not so hard. You know, we have a lot of downtime during the day, and so sometimes if we get a chance, we'll go to the gym when we're on tour. Sometimes when we're playing arenas, we'll get out there and run the stairs around the arenas, and a lot of times we just try to take our bikes out and get out there, and it's kind of, I think with the bikes, you kind of get it back in two ways. You get some good exercise in. It's a good way to get out and see the town that you're playing in, you know. And I'm trust me, I'm not just saying it. I'm about to get back in the gym and get back in shape. But right now, whew, a lot of Skittles,
Michael from Westfield. Do you guys have any other doors in mind before choosing 3? Did you guys have any other doors in mind before choosing 3?
Well, when the band very first formed, there was just 3 of us, and the name of the band kind of came up from an old like fruit stand. We're from South Mississippi, and we were driving down to the beach down in Florida, and to get down there, you go through Foley, Alabama, which is that little town's just full of little fruit stands for like tourist traffic going down there, and one of the buildings had like multiple stands in one little building, and one of them had closed and moved a couple of spots down, and he had a little tack up sign that said business moved so many doors down, and some of the letters had fallen off, and at the time there were 3, and so we just said 3 doors down, and we had a list of names that we were going to call the band, and I really can't even think of any of them off the top of my head, or I'd say them. But so that was the 3, and the doors down kind of come off that sign, and we were in a hurry to make a name for the band. We had a gig like that night or the next night or something, and it just kind of stuck, and I guess it's has a better ring to it than 5 doors down.
Yeah. Order from Red Wing. Hey Brad, do you have any advice on writing good music? I want to start writing for fun, but don't know where to start.
Morgan, I would say just write from your heart. Just, you know, write about what you feel, and I guess if you want other people to identify with it, just, you know, leave it interpretable. You know, I always try to write what I feel, but at the same time leave songs kind of open-ended to where people can draw their own conclusions maybe sometime as to what you're talking about, and in that way they can relate it to their own lives. And but ultimately just write from your heart and write what you feel. Whether you think anybody will identify with it or not, trust me, they will if it's honest.
Cole from New Haven. Do you keep in touch with your former members of the band, Todd, Matt, and Daniel? To answer that question, not really. You know, Todd's to where we can't really stay in touch with him. Matt, I mean, you've talked to Matt.
I talked to Matt a couple of months ago.
Mm-hmm. I personally haven't, and haven't spoke to Daniel in quite some time. What's the one thing that you consider a luxury on your tour bus? Also, does each band member have their own bus?
And that is from Donna from Covington.
Oh yeah.
The one thing that you consider a luxury on your tour bus, as dumb as this sounds, no matter where I go, I have to bring my own pillows from home. They're just ratty pillows, but they're comfortable, and they support my big head. I think one luxury that we have on our tour bus is that in each bunk, the bunks, they're not even as wide as a twin bed. And when we first started, and thankfully ours you can sit up in them, but when we first started, I mean, you sat up, you hit your face. And they used to have these TVs that were down at the floor, and it was like little tube, you know, the old school TVs, and you just could not get your feet under those things. And you know, they might have a DVD player in them or something like that back in the day, but that was maybe or maybe not. But now they have iPads in them, and they're just kind of connected in there. And that's kind of cool because they're right in front of your face, and there's like a little movie bank that just goes through the Wi-Fi, and you can just select movies and watch them on there. And that's pretty nice. I mean, there's nothing, you know, extremely extravagant, but to have it on the bus and just to be able to scroll through, and we don't watch a whole lot of TV, but just to be able to lay there at night when you're trying to fall asleep and have something to fall asleep to is pretty cool.
Yes, for sure. Bree from Honolulu. Hi, I have all of your CDs. How do you guys do the liner notes? Well, usually you just kind of, you know, you try to think of someone or the people that have really helped you make that particular CD. I think over the years, for me personally, I've kind of named every person in my family, every friend I know. I think so. On this latest one, I only named my fiance and my 3 children and my two good friends. One of them who's deceased, and then my other really good friend that I've been kind of hanging out with, you know, in the last 6 years. So I kept it really simple. How about you?
Yeah, I mean, my thank yous and liner notes have got shorter and shorter over the years. I think I've just about named everybody, so now their names have become my friends, my family, my wife, of course, you know, my mom and dad, and things like that. But all the people that I like to thank, we pretty much thanked them multiple times, and they know who they are. As far as the liner notes, you want to, you know, like Chris said, you want to put everybody involved on the record, and then, you know, we like to have the lyrics in there because it's cool to go along and read them, you know. And I've always enjoyed going through and reading things and the content in those booklets, and so, you know, we want to pass that along to people that care to go through and read those things. I know a lot of people don't, but for the people that do, we like to have them there. I mean, we feel like if you're going to go, you know, out and spend your money on a CD, then you deserve that extra stuff in there that's just, you know, a little extra than having a download or what have you.
Gene from Nevada, do you have dogs? If so, what kind? Yes, I have 2 schnauzers. I have a mini schnauzer and a standard schnauzer.
And I have a pit bull with a little bit of boxer in her, and at some point in her life she forgot she was a dog. Her name is Harley Butt. Jennifer Pontiac asked, what is a typical tour day like for 3 Doors Down from the time you wake up?
Let's see, it's different for all of us, but typically we get up in the morning around breakfast time, you know, coffee, things like that. Then day really doesn't start for a lot of us until around noon, 1 o'clock. That's when interviews will start happening, around 1, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Dinner is at 5. Meet and greet starts at sound checks at 4. Dinner at 5 with a meet and greet right after or before. Then the show is usually right after that, and then after the show, then it's back to the bus after showers and on to the next town. And that's in a nutshell a typical day.
Pretty much it. And Jim from New Mexico, given the success you've attained, what do you want the band most to be remembered for? I would like to think that we'd be remembered for writing songs that help somebody out, you know, that somebody got something out of in their life, whether it helps them get through a hard time or helps them remember a good time. You know, you read a lot of stuff, and it's really cool thing about social media is you can go through and read a lot of those things, whether it be on YouTube or Facebook or Twitter or Instagram or anything. It's really cool to go through and read some of the things that people have to say about certain songs and you know, what they associate those songs with. And I would like, you know, it's an honor for people to let you in to being a part of their life. And if they're going to remember us for one thing, I would like for them to remember us as a good part of their life. Alyssa from Pensacola, will will we be seeing you guys on any TV shows soon performing? Well, actually, you can go back on YouTube. We were just on Good Morning America a few mornings ago, and so I think that's somebody ripped that and put it on YouTube. So you can go back and watch that. And I'm sure as with having this new record out, that we'll be on a lot of TV shows pretty soon performing. And I don't know any to tell you just right off the top of my head, but we'll be on a lot.
Kim from Mobile, any tour news for us?
Lots of tours coming up. There's a lot of dates on our website. You can go to threedoorsdown.com and go to the tour section, and it'll give you all the dates that we have coming up. Actually, for Mobile, if you don't mind a little bit of a drive, we have 2 shows on April 15th and 16th coming up over in Biloxi, Mississippi at the IP Casino. So I know that's a little bit of a hike for you, but get on I-10 and drive on over to Biloxi, and we'll see you over there. Well, that's it, everybody. Thank you for sending in your questions. Thanks for having us on The Sixth Sense. Go check out our new CD, Us in the Night. It's out right now. And God bless you guys. Thank you very much for having us.
Thanks, Nikki Six and Jen, for having us on The Sixth Sense. And
Absolutely.
For the Ask Us Anything chat.